Into this segment, we welcome to the program Chip Templeton, the RISE Center Director at Mississippi Small Business Development Center at the University of Mississippi. Hey, Chip, how's it going?
How you doing, Gerard? This is a dream come true to be on the show with you. I feel like I talk to you
Well,
every day.
we're glad you're with us, and we're awfully curious about this new center at Ole Miss, offering resources for small businesses in the state that seek to expand and grow their business and their footprint. And just kind of as a prelude to that, Chip, before I let you talk about it, something we've discussed on the show so many times, with all the technology that is available today, that's available to virtually anyone, regardless of their income, their status. The routes to market are way greater than they ever have been. I mean, there are just so many different ways of developing some product, some good, some service in particular, and then just delivering that to the market. It's navigating that maze that can often be difficult. What makes sense for a particular business's product or services, what doesn't. And hopefully you're going to tell us about how this organization, the RISE Center, can provide some aid in that department.
Well, we believe we will definitely hit a bullseye on your thought there. Certainly, the American entrepreneurship and capitalism is always the pathway to that as it evolves.
Yeah.
So, the RISE Center, we have 6 different areas that we focused on, and we have opportunities with each of those 6 areas that a business owner could do just what you just said, meeting them where they are first, seeing where they want to go and helping them to get that or talk them through the possibilities. Like you said, it's sort of a merry-go-round. A lot of times there's so many choices, they either can't get off the merry-go-round and head that way or they get off too soon and so forth. So we want to guide them through that process.
Yeah. Well, in the 6 areas: cybersecurity, technology, commercialization, international trade, market research, digital transformation, financial analysis. I mean, those are spot on, all essential ingredients in developing a solid business plan.
Absolutely. And our state director, Sharon Nichols, at the Mississippi SBDC, this was a vision she had that we could tap into these resources that we've got and really help businesses grow on a trajectory that could may even exceed their expectations. So we want to make sure they have the tools to use. Another thing I'd like to mention right quick too, of course, the RISE Center, this is the first time we've mentioned this before, so it's a new term. And at the University of Mississippi, we have lots of entrepreneurship contacts like the Center of Manufacturing Excellence and Office of Technology Commercialization and a few others. We want to make sure that our name wants to be mentioned in that group of fine organizations too, as another means of a business being able to tune into that.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a myriad of resources. And gosh, just thinking about budding entrepreneurs, really that didn't exist to that extent. But we've seen a proliferation and increase in the resources, and in particular right here in our state, including those which you just mentioned that are all on the campus there at the university. So, Chip, how does a prospective business that could get some value out of these services, how do they get engaged?
First of all, I always kind of say it's kind of like going to your doctor. You don't just walk in and start talking to the doctor. You have to kind of fill out a form.
Yeah.
So they would go to our website, the MississippiSBDC.org, click on the I want to be a client button. Takes about 5 minutes, and voila, you're in the system. So it's a confidentiality agreement. So we don't talk about your business outside of our area unless you give us permission to. So that's the introduction of how to get into it. We have about 35 people on our team, and we assign you to the counselor that we think would most be able to help you at that time. And then as it goes through potentially to the Rise Center and organization. We get you with any of those, maybe one of those 6 components that you called out. It may be a
Yeah.
multitude, and we work together with you. But that's how you get into it, and it's a long-term relationship. Let me throw a little statistic out to you, if I could, right quick.
Sure.
In 2018, 61% of our clients were what we call pre-venture. They were just really thinking about starting a business. Now, because we have long-term relationships, now it's 76% of our people are in business. So they're having a long-term relationship with us. And so when we saw that, and they realized that we're really quenching their thirst of need and helping them grow, that we could do that even a greater way. And that's what the Rise Center is there to do, to help them grow those next steps. And so, if we have time to talk about some of these individual areas, we can, just whatever you would like to talk about. I'm happy to spread the joy of what we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. So first, Chip, is there a cost for this?
We are so affordable, you're not going to believe it. It is absolutely zero cost.
Okay.
That is
I like
what
that.
we do.
Okay.
Yes. That doesn't mean we're worthless.
Understand.
I think we're priceless, but that's a little ego talking. Yeah, the Ronald Reagan and his administration thought this was a great idea, that every state ought to have a thing called a Small Business Development Center. It was that neutral place where a business owner could go and have somebody to talk to and guide them, and it wouldn't cost anything. A lot of our people, the reason I feel like I talk to you every day, because I know you're all about, you see things through the eyes of the business owner because of your history. And it's the same way for me. I own businesses for 25, 30 years. And every day I wake up and think about, if it were my business, what would I do? So that's put there. And we went from being not a very not known organization a few years ago, but under our leadership of Sharon Nichols, I think we've become pretty well known that we're the go-to place where business owners can go and have somebody that can help them, whether they're just beginning or they're ready for the Rise Center.
I know people right now, Chip. I know people right now that, in fact, I have a call with one, an upstart business this afternoon, and I'm going to refer them to you. They need this sort of counseling.
Thank you very much. We're here. We represent every square inch in all 82 counties.
That's awesome. All right, so give us a couple of use cases, couple of examples of folks you've helped.
Well, I'll give you a quick example.
Okay.
The Rise Center stands for Resources for International Success and Expansion, but nobody needs to remember that. Rise Center is easy to remember. So international trade would be one of those. So let's start with that one.
Okay.
We are so blessed to have a gentleman in our organization named Tony Canvas. And he is someone who is not only respected in our state, but throughout the whole United States in the SBDC world as an expert in international trade. So I called Tony about a month ago and I said, Tony, I've got something that never came up before with a client that I know about. And this client was having trouble exporting to a country they had been exporting to for years. And they had a little bump in the road about being able for that product to be accepted. And Tony says, I know how to handle that. And so they worked with that client over the next month or so. It worked itself out. You can't tell the country what to do. You have to kind of know how to do that. Sometimes it's as much what you don't say as what you do say. But with his guidance and the client guiding themselves, we navigated it to the promised land, and everything's good again. So that's awesome. A use case.
That's awesome, and that's just the kind of information that only subject matter experts like your resource could help them with. It's that kind of stuff's kind of hard to dig through and understand, and there's always underlying nuances typically that you are not going to find in the readily available resources. So that's great. But Chip, appreciate you coming on and talk.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's awesome. Appreciate you coming on and talking about that. And again, I got somebody I'm going to send your way. I run into people all the time. I apologize for not knowing more about this. I'm so glad to know about this because people need these services. Appreciate it, Chip. Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you. We'll be glad to come anytime you need us. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Coming right back, folks, in the Element Wealth studio.